Shalom, this is Shulamyah, and I'm back to talk about something else that comes up in conversations between us women. Mostly my conversations are between me and another Hebrew Israelite sister, or two or three sometimes. And it's the subject of sex. Always interesting, always informative. The things we come to understand and how we have grown since coming into the knowledge of Torah. And still growing. All the questions aren't exactly answered. We still battle with certain things as to the when, wheres, and the hows. So, A, when. When do we indulge in sex? Well, let me say this. Sex is a beautiful thing. I think sex is something that is learned between a man and his wife. But also, I think it's something that should be discussed prior to. Um, Men tend to discuss things amongst themselves sometimes. I mean, not in great detail. I don't think, not being a man, and I really don't know. But hopefully, in good taste, if it is. But I think that this is something that we should discuss with our daughters. As a mom of a 25-year-old daughter who is not married, I did discuss a lot with her when, as she got to be older, things that were age appropriate that she should understand. First and foremost is that you don't give it away to no one but your husband. And I'm happy and blessed that she remained true to that. She didn't go trying to hand it to anyone. And she waited till she got married. So that was a plus. And I think that's something that we need to really explain to our daughters about that. Why they should wait until marriage. Why? Why? Because your system, a woman's system, is set up to receive really one man. And something, if a woman marries her husband and she's a virgin and he dies and she marries someone else, that's a different story. But so there's just two men she's actually dealing with, usually. But when a woman jumps from man to man to man to man, she changes her own chemistry. And she has foreign antibodies in her and is steadily adjusting her, steadily moving and making things different. I know I'm not saying this in a real scientific way, but she's being chemically adjusted with every man, which is not good, number one. Number two, it may be the cause of cervical cancer. So those are things that we need to consider as women before we start laying down with everybody. A lot of us didn't get that understanding from childhood, that how detrimental, besides STDs and getting pregnant, how messed up we can make ourselves by laying up with many different men. I remember in high school you heard about the child that messed with the whole football team. Okay, that's not cool. But those of us who are even walking in this way right now have passed, and things that we have done that aren't necessarily what we're proud of. It's just the product of what happened and how we understood life and what wasn't explained to us, or what we were too hard-headed to abide by, being disobedient to our parents, or what have you, fall into peer pressure of our friends talking about how they done this and how they've done that, or just the pressure of the guy that you like at the time, and ending up in a situation that you might not have really wanted, you know, but because you're wanting to please that person, there you are, you end up there. Then we have the sisters who are just hot-bodied, I would say. It's a nice way of putting it. They have a high sexual drive, and it's even there when they're young, very young. And it comes out. And unless we are intuitive of our daughters and pay attention to who they are, because they give away little clues about themselves too. They may think they're wearing a little mask or whatever, but hold on. Somebody's calling me and they're going to have to put it on voicemail. But we have to pay attention to what they do. They wear a little mask to try to cover up what they do. But if you pay attention to your daughter, if she's has a drive, a sexual drive going on at a young age, that's the time to start teaching. I think it's a time to start teaching them, even if they don't. You need to start letting them know what their bodies are like and why they're feeling this way and how to control that so that they can save themselves for marriage. I've even heard some people say, well, you know, that's why you should allow, you know, masturbation. I'm not just to argue that point right now. That's not something I want to talk about right now. If somebody does that, that's between you and the Most High. I'm just leave that right there. But the wins, we all should wait for our mate. Not just Mr. Right Now, but Mr. Forever. Okay? Somebody who is going to be there for, you know, is your ish, and they're there until death do you part, hopefully. And hold on, because of what it does to our system, because it changes things so much within us, we don't realize how deeply we change upon a man's semen entering our body. Another thing is where. I don't think I'm going to discuss where, because where is your business. Once you marry, wherever that is, that you decide to get down, that's your business, and I ain't got nothing to say so in all of that. I'm not going to even discuss that. How is a big deal, because we have a lot of people that discuss how and what should and should not be done between a husband and a wife sexually. Sodomy, I think sodomy is a no-no, just on the fact of scripture alone. You don't need any other resource to tell you that's a no-no, that you should not be entering into the rectum in that manner. That's not what it's made for, and that's not good for a person. I worked in the medical field for a long time, and I've seen what gay men look like after years and years and years of that kind of abuse. And I call it abuse because when you see what they look like in their backside, it's quite disturbing, to say the least. So, and that's a man doing that to another man. Now you imagine the same thing going on with a woman. That is not cool. They end up a lot of times with colostomy bags. They end up having no control over their bowels. And I don't recommend that for anyone. Beyond that, there is oral sex. Now, that's a hot topic. That's a topic that has people all in a dithers. I remember a few years ago in a group on Facebook, Hebrew Israelite singles group on Facebook, because I'm a single woman. So I was there listening in, and the discussions that went on were very, very interesting. And the things that were said to be wrong and things were interesting. Because you had those that said, oh, no, oral sex is nasty. You have no business putting your mouth down there. And, you know, and mostly if I found, what I found mostly was men going, oh, no, 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 I'm not going to do that. Now, whether or not they was going to turn down the reverse, I do not know. But that's mostly what I heard. I'm not doing that to her. I'm not going to, that's wrong. And then I started hearing people saying that was, you know, a form of witchcraft and different things. Personally, I do not know. I haven't read anything in Torah that says oral sex is incorrect. I haven't read that. Some people have alluded that certain scriptures say that, but to just boldly say that that's what it means, I can't say that. So I think as far as oral sex is concerned, that it will be your personal preference one way or the other. Either you don't like it and that's your business and you are very much welcome to your opinion on that, or you do like it and that is also your business and you are very much welcome to your opinion on that subject. But I think that if a husband and a wife come together, considering the fact that I don't see anything in scripture that directly speaks against it. If a husband and wife get together and they want to indulge in that, that's between them and the Most High. And I think if he wants that corrected, he will eventually show them correction therein. So, that's a real deep subject, and you know it can be really, really touchy in a lot of ways. But I hope that from this that we take away something, especially as far as our young people, our young women, that we will come to realize that laying down with too many men, more than one man, two men, really, really would jack you up physically because it changes your chemical makeup. And the men that lay down with women who are like that, who will sleep with anybody at a drop of a hat, who has no real standards, you know, they really need to think about it because when he, you know, they had a story that says, you know, every person you sleep with, when you sleep with someone, you sleep with everybody else they've ever slept with, and so on, and it just fans out like a rippling effect on the sea. Okay, and you take that woman who, from what I understand, still holds the DNA a lot of times of the different people who she's been with. Some people will probably tell me, oh, that's not true. And you can't prove that. Well, you know, if it's true, if it's not true, okay. But if it is true, think about it. Do you really want that kind of person? Do you really want to deal with that? And people change. You have to give people time to change. But I think there's a purification process that needs to take place behind some of us women who have indulged in that too free lifestyle. But that's SHuLaMYaH's opinion. You know, I'm entitled to my own, and I'm going to give it on my vlog, baby. So, darlings, have a good one. And shalom.